So we have the official first teaser trailer for Toy Story 5 drop online, you guys, and I am so excited to watch Toy Story 5. Look, this franchise means so much to me. Growing up as a kid, watching that original Toy Story, always asking my mom if I could have some pizza, because every time we went to Pizza Port, I was like, I need me some pizza. Like, it's so many great memories, honestly. And I love Toy Story 2. Toy Story 2, I feel like it's the most underappreciated out of this entire franchise, but I think that's a very good, solid sequel. And arguably, if you take out forward, Toy Story 1, 2, and 3 is arguably the greatest trilogy of all time, especially the way the third one ended. Oh my God, us true fans were so devastated that Andy was giving away his toys, but you do grow up eventually and you let go of things. Trust me, now that I'm 34 years old, I wish I didn't have those massive garage sales with my family giving away all of those toys. I would go back in time. All of my wrestling toys, I'm telling you guys, I would always go out, in some form or fashion with a toy. Devastated. I wish I can go back in time and save all of those toys that I had, because I had some absolute bangers. But I'm really stoked. I'm going to be taking my son to go see this. We recently went to go see Toy Story live action, the whole orchestra. Randy Newman was there. It was absolutely incredible. It was at CSUN. It was so damn amazing. It was such a fun experience. I would definitely go again, because to hear that music while the movie was playing and seeing everybody, it was so damn awesome, you guys. But I'm stoked. After Buzz Lightyear drastically failed, I'm glad that Disney and Pixar is, going back to the basics and, doing a Toy Story 5, a lot of fans were excited about this movie, because after being let down from, Buzz Lightyear, we were all thinking that they were going to branch off and start doing these more modernized and more mature type, films within that particular universe. I'm glad that never happened, and I'm glad we're getting a Toy Story 5. As long as they're going to be making these movies, I'm a dad. I'm going to be taking my son to go see these. It's definitely a father and son, or mother and son, father. It's a family event when you go see these animated movies. We got Zootopia 2 dropping later this month. I can't wait to go see that with my son. I'm looking forward to, more animated films with my son in theaters, because it definitely is a moment that I will always cherish for the rest of my life, But let's check out this official teaser trailer, you guys. It's only 50 seconds long. Nothing, massive, but I'm excited to see what they have in store for us. All right, you guys ready? 1, 2, 3. Moving again. Oh, yeah. Animation looks really good. The potato heads. That's a new toy. You're always afraid.
Thank you. Hi there. I'm Lily Pad.
There it is. Oh, gosh. Oh man, this is just a new, different generation. Look, kids don't really play with toys that much because of technology. With all the Apple devices and the Androids and, all the smartphones and iPads, that's where kids are really drawn to. They're drawn to watching YouTube now, all on their iPads and phones and stuff like that. Trust me, I see it all the time. My son has 3 full bins of toys. I'd be damned if he's going to be one of those iPad kids. Absolutely not. Enjoy your youth. Don't be, all day. It's bad enough adults are like that shit all day long on their phone, just like this. And you see it everywhere. You go to a restaurant and people are just glued to technology in their phones. So I like that we're going to be touching upon this very real subject in real life. With Bonnie getting a brand new Lily iPad, it's going to be a drastic change. And, Woody, Buzz, and the OG, toys, they don't like new toys. They don't like new change, I remember when Buzz first got to, Andy's house, Woody was like, oh my God, everybody was afraid. He's getting new toys. Are you going to be replaced? It's all about being replaced. That's the theme. You don't want to be replaced. You want to be cherished and you want to be loved. And with technology, Bonnie's growing older, so social media is going to be, I'm wondering if they're going to have like an Instagram, a Twitter, an X or whatever, I'm really stoked. I'm really stoked for this idea of modernizing this particular theme for Toy Story 5. I think they can do a lot of good with it, and I think kids can actually learn from this movie. Drop the iPad and pick up a toy. Be creative. You know what I mean? Like that's one thing I really try to distill in my son is just be creative. Be creative. Be a kid. Don't be glued to the screen all goddamn day long. You know what I mean? I hate that. And I didn't grow up that way. In middle school, I didn't have a phone. I didn't get a phone until like possibly after high school, and it was like a little Nokia phone. You know what I mean? I know Razor phones and like sidekicks were like really big back in high school, but I couldn't afford that shit. I was broke. I was working at a movie theater making $7.25 an hour. You know what I mean? A very different time. But let me know what you guys think about this official first teaser trailer for Toy Story 5. Honest thoughts and opinions. What do you think about the thematic theme of the story for Toy Story 5? Let me hear in the comments down below. And of course, thank you guys for taking time out of your day for watching SeaWorld Productions.